Chapter 1140 of One Piece has recently been released and predominantly focuses on a battle between Luffy, Zoro, and Gaban, the former left-hand man of Goldie Roger, over the key to Loki's chains. The chapter also introduces two new Holy Knights and provides new insight into their abilities and their role as the main antagonists within the Elbaph arc. This chapter has led to many people speculating that this chapter finally answers why Shanks sacrificed his arm in Chapter 1. In this video, I intend to explain why that theory is flawed and also go into depth about my own theories on what Oda's endgame for Shanks, Shamrock, and Emu may be. So without further ado, let's get into it. Chapter 1140 reinforced the idea that the Holy Knights can teleport using Gunko's summoning circles, as seen when two new members arrived. Saint Keelingam, who seems to possess an awakened Zoan devilfruit based on the mythical Kirin, and Saint Summers, who, rather conveniently, materialized in his pants. The summoning circles used to teleport Saint Keelingam and Saint Summers appear to only work on those who bear a specific mark, restricting who can travel freely between the Holy Land. The tattoo on Saint Summers' left arm is believed to be the key to this ability, sparking widespread speculation that Shanks may too have borne this mark, solving a 28-year-old mystery. After the Roger pirates disbanded, Shanks learned of his celestial dragon lineage and, at some point between Roger's execution and the founding of the red-haired pirates, returned to the Holy Land. There, he reunited with his brother Shamrock and Father Garling. What transpired during his time in the Holy Land remains unclear, but based on Shamrock's remarks about him, it is likely that Shanks renounced his birthright before leaving to form his own crew. However, speculation suggests that before his departure he was branded with the mark, allowing the Holy Land to recall him whenever necessary. This raises the possibility that when Shanks sacrificed his arm to save Luffy, it wasn't just a gamble on Luffy's future as a great pirate. It may have also been his final act of severing any lingering ties to the celestial dragons and the world government. A rather beautiful story, if it were true. The issue with this theory goes all the way back to Volume 1. Shanks and the red-haired pirates have sailed to the East Blue where they arrive on Dawn Island, and Shanks meets a young monkey D. Luffy, who dreams of being a pirate. In the anime, Shanks laughs and jokes about his dreams, and you can see his arm with no tattoo present. Now you may be thinking, it's an animation error? They happen. For example, Shanks was animated with two arms in a flashback where he met Ace. The manga does a better job of hiding the majority of Shanks' arm. However, this same scene gives you a great view of Shanks' forearm. If you compare it to Saint Summers' sleeve, you can see that this mark extends past the elbow and down the top of the forearm, meaning if it was present, you would have seen it. Oda has extended the story of One Piece since its conception, and the Holy Knights and Shanks' prominence in the later arcs wasn't part of the original story. However, Oda is generally very good at looking at his historic material and closing plot holes and loose ends, which suggests that if he intended for Shanks to have this mark, he wouldn't have extended it so far down the arm. The reason Shanks lost his arm in the first place was because his editor suggested it as a way to spice up the story. In the end, we might have to accept that for this loose end, the editor's pen was mightier than the Sea King. With Shamrock recalled to the Holy Land, it appears that Gunko, Saint Keelingam, and Saint Summers are positioned as the main antagonists of the Elbaph arc. Their mission to abduct children and take them to the Holy Land, but the exact purpose behind this remains a mystery. The need for giant children could be linked to the gigantification experiments that formed a major part of the Punk Hazard arc. Punk Hazard revolves around the experiments of Caesar Clown, a former world government scientist and rival of Vegapunk. Fueled by resentment over Vegapunk's superior reputation, Caesar conducted unethical experiments to surpass him, ultimately leading to his expulsion from the world government. After his expulsion, Caesar found a new benefactor in Big Mom, who funded his research on gigantification and provided him with a lab on Punk Hazard to explore the potential of adding giants to her crew. Caesar managed to induce gigantification in children by injecting them with an artificial growth drug known as NHC-10, but the process proved to be highly unstable. It's no secret that the world government has long been obsessed with creating artificial giants. In Chapter 867, Caesar delights in discovering that Vegapunk failed again in his efforts to create giants. Later, in Chapter 1070, Stussy reveals that MADS, the scientific group Vegapunk was part of, was also researching gigantification, implying that the world government was funding this research all along. Fast forward to the present, and the world government, growing impatient, has resorted to kidnapping giant children. Again. This isn't the first time they've done so. Mother Carmel, a child trafficker posing as a nun, ran an orphanage in Elbaph where, every 2 years, she would sell giant children to the world government. Despite her questionable activities, Mother Carmel earned the giants' respect by rescuing a group of pirates set to be executed. This act, however, was a calculated maneuver to gain favor with the giants, ultimately granting her access to Elbaph, where she operated without opposition for years. It's strange that Mother Carmel was able to operate in Elbaph for so long without King Harold being aware of her activities, but there's no concrete evidence suggesting they were involved together. Mother Carmel was killed 62 years ago, whereas King Harold was killed by Loki 14 years ago. It's possible that during the 50-year gap following Mother Carmel's demise, the world government approached King Harold to continue her operations. This could help explain why, in Chapter 1134, a summoning circle is revealed in the middle of Harold's throne room, along with Saint Summer's question to Shamrock about visiting Harold's grave, which further suggests a connection of some kind. Perhaps King Harold was more involved with the world government than he let on, and when Loki discovered the truth, he may have killed his father to protect his father's legacy, preventing the shameful truth from being revealed. As I talked about in my previous video, I believe that Shanks takes inspiration from Tyr, the Norse god of war, who, like Shanks, has one arm after losing it to Fenrir. Initially, I thought that Shamrock would play a central role as the antagonist of the Elbaph arc. However, based on him being recalled to the Holy Land, I now suspect that his role may be more intertwined to the One Piece endgame. It's no secret that Oda often draws from Norse mythology, and this time, there may be a deeper thematic connection between Shanks, Shamrock, and Emu. They may be linked by another Norse-inspired entity that has slipped under the radar, one that might be key to understanding their fate. Garm. In Norse mythology, Garm is a wolf-like hellhound who guards Hell, the realm of the dead. Garm is sometimes confused with Cerberus, the three-headed hellhound from Greek mythology, who serves Hades as the guardian of the underworld. What if Oda blended the mythological influences of both Garm and Cerberus when creating Shamrock and his sword, which has eaten the dog fruit model Cerberus? This would create a direct thematic link between Shanks and Shamrock, potentially hinting at a fate that mirrors their mythological counterpart. In Norse mythology, during Ragnarok, Garm breaks free from his chains and faces Tyr, with both meeting their end in combat. If Oda is following this mythological thread, it's possible we're seeing a setup for a climactic showdown between brothers. But that leaves us with the lingering question, where does Emu fit into all of this? In a twist that everyone saw coming, Emu would logically be the holder of Garm's, or in this case, Shamrock's chains, the goddess Hel herself. In Norse mythology, Hel is the goddess who presides over Niflheim, the realm of the dead. This could serve as a subtle parallel to Emu, who rules the world from the shadows, unseen from the empty throne. Hel is often depicted as half alive, half corpse, symbolizing the space between life and death. So far, Emu has only appeared as a shadowy figure. Could it be that Emu exists in a state between life and death, a fusion of the original rulers from the 20 kingdoms? Doflamingo once claimed that the world nobles possess a national treasure so powerful that, when combined with the Ope Ope no Mi, it could grant someone the power to rule the world. But what if this treasure has already been used? What if Emu is the result? Granted immortality through the Ope Ope no Mi's ultimate surgery. But perhaps immortality came at a cost, Emu's humanity. We've seen the use of pentagrams in various scenes, such as with Saturn, and more recently, the summoning of the Holy Knights. A pentagram is one of the oldest symbols in the world. When upright, it represents protection, good fortune, and the perpetual cycle of life and nature. However, when inverted, it takes on darker connotations, especially with the rise of Satanism in the 20th century, aligning the symbol with the devil and the concept of hell, which connects to Hel, the goddess of the underworld. While the summoning circles used by the holy knights appear to be drawn upright, their association with this symbol reinforces the idea that Imu exists in a space that blurs the lines between life and death. These summoning circles allow passage through the abyss, which in Norse mythology is known as Ginnungagap, a bottomless void that sits between the icy realm of Niflheim and the fiery world of Muspelheim. Ginnungagap predates the creation of the cosmos and is said to be where the universe will collapse during Ragnarok. Imu could draw inspiration from Hel in the same way Shanks is inspired by Tyr. Alternatively, Imu could possess a mythical devil fruit based on Hel, granting her superior powers akin to the shadow fruit once held by Gecko Moria. One lingering mystery is the world government's obsession with giants and why the Holy Knights are targeting the children of Elbaph. In Norse mythology, Hel is the daughter of Loki and carries giant blood in her veins. Could the giants hold the key to Imu restoring her true form? Or perhaps Imu seeks a giant army instead. After all, during Ragnarok, Hel unleashes an army of the dead to fight alongside the giants against the gods of Asgard. That's everything that I want to cover within this video. I actually hope this theory turns out to be false, as I really want to see Loki and Shamrock fight. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and want to see more like this, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what your theories are in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.